Hey everyone, as a doctor who spent years caring for older adults, I need to talk about a food many of us see as a harmless breakfast staple: sausage. It's marketed as hearty and convenient, but for anyone over 50, some sausages are like ticking health bombs. Why? They are often loaded with sodium, saturated fats, and preservatives like nitrites, which studies have linked to serious health risks. Some brands have even been recalled for containing bacteria or metal fragments. Think about that. Your morning meal could be working against your heart, kidneys, and gut. For older adults, the stakes are even higher. If you're managing blood pressure, one serving could derail your efforts. If you have kidney issues, the salt and additives can worsen the damage. I've seen patients come in with high blood pressure or digestive problems, all linked back to what they thought was just a little sausage. It's crucial to know what you're eating. Stay tuned, because I'll show you which ones to avoid and what delicious, safer alternatives are out there. Number 9 on our list is Jimmy Dean. You've seen the commercials, right? Sizzling patties, smiling families, and that promise of a hearty morning. It's a household name for breakfast. But behind that comforting image lies a serious concern, especially for older adults. Just one serving of Jimmy Dean sausage can pack over 700 milligrams of sodium. Now, to put that into perspective, many seniors are advised to keep their daily sodium intake around 1,500 milligrams, sometimes even less if they're dealing with high blood pressure or kidney issues. So, 2 small links for breakfast. That's nearly half your daily limit before you've even buttered your toast. But the risks don't stop there. These sausages often contain nitrites and nitrates, which are chemical preservatives. The World Health Organization has linked these to an increased risk of colon cancer. They help keep the sausage looking pink and tasting right, but they don't do any favors for your long-term health. In fact, some of these additives are banned or tightly restricted in Europe, yet they're still common in American products. And let's talk about the fat. A few links deliver a heavy dose of saturated fat, which contributes to clogged arteries and higher cholesterol, exactly what older hearts don't need. Pair that with the sodium spike, and it's a double whammy for your cardiovascular health. I've had patients who regularly ate these for breakfast and later struggled with swollen ankles from fluid retention, blood pressure spikes, even with medication, and digestive discomfort. These aren't just coincidences. It's the body's way of saying it's overwhelmed. So what can you do? If you love the taste of sausage, try making your own with ground turkey, sage, and a pinch of pepper. It freezes well, reheats in a flash, and makes your kitchen smell like real food, not chemical smoke. Or, look for low-sodium chicken sausage that's labeled no nitrites added. You'll still get that satisfying breakfast flavor without pushing your heart and kidneys to their limits. Coming in at number 8 is Hillshire Farm. They market themselves with a farmhouse tradition vibe. You see the rustic fonts, the nostalgic pictures, and the promise of honest home-style food. But as I always remind my patients, labels can be deceiving. Back in 2018, Hillshire Farm actually had to recall some of their sausages because metal fragments were found inside. For a young, healthy person, biting into a tiny piece of metal might just mean a trip to the dentist. But for an older adult, especially someone with dental implants, fragile teeth, or who's on blood thinners, even a tiny shard can cause serious injury or dangerous bleeding. That's not tradition. It's a health hazard. Now let's look at the nutrition panel. A single link often contains 550 to 600 milligrams of sodium. Have 2 of those, and you've already consumed about a third of your recommended daily sodium before you even think about lunch or dinner. For seniors managing high blood pressure, that kind of hidden sodium can quickly undo all the careful work of their medication. Beyond sodium, Hillshire products also contain phosphates and nitrites. Phosphates in particular can weaken bone health over time, which is a huge concern for older adults who are already at a higher risk for osteoporosis. And nitrites, as we've discussed, are linked to a higher risk of colon cancer. Patients have also told me about the texture. Instead of a clean snap from a natural casing, they described biting into something more like rubber tubing, with a faint metallic aftertaste. That's not farmhouse cooking, that's factory processing. A little practical advice: if you love smoked sausage, look for small batch or butcher brands that are labeled nitrite-free and low sodium, or opt for chicken or turkey sausage, which is naturally leaner. You can freeze them at home in small portions, so you always have a safe, delicious option ready to go. That way, you get all the flavor without the risk of recalls, additives, or hidden sodium. Next up, number 7. Eckrich. Eckrich markets itself as the family night sausage. It's affordable, easy to cook, and comes in large packs. But what many of my older patients don't realize is that this affordability often comes at the expense of their health. The first issue is the fat content. In some Eckrich smoked sausages, more than 70% of the calories come from fat, and a lot of that is saturated fat. For a senior managing cholesterol or already diagnosed with heart disease, just one serving can push them over their recommended fat allowance for the entire day. I've seen patients who enjoy 2 or 3 links with dinner, only to find their cholesterol and triglycerides creeping higher, even with medication. Then there's the sodium. A single link can carry over 600 milligrams of sodium. Multiply that by 2 or 3, and you're getting close to half of your safe daily sodium limit in just one meal. For seniors on blood pressure meds or diuretics, this can lead to swollen ankles, dizziness, or even sudden spikes in blood pressure that make falls more likely. My patients have also told me about what it's like to cook Eckrich sausages. When you open the package, you often see this orange oil pooling in the tray. When you put it in the pan, instead of a clean sizzle, the sausage just weeps grease until your paper towels are soaked. That's not nourishment. That's a red flag for how much saturated fat is packed inside. One patient even joked, it felt like frying a candle made of grease. On top of all that, the texture and flavor often leave a lot to be desired. People describe a gummy bite, a stale smell, and an unpleasant aftertaste that just lingers. When you combine that with the high fat and sodium, it's not just a disappointing meal, it's a health hazard disguised as budget comfort food. So what's the solution? If you're craving sausage for a family dinner, consider leaner alternatives like chicken or turkey sausage. You can pan-sear or even air-fry them with some herbs for flavor. Pair them with beans or roasted vegetables, and you'll get that comforting sausage experience without the burden of grease, sodium, and excess saturated fat. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more health tips. Stay safe and eat well. While it's a symbol of summer cookouts and hearty breakfasts, some of the most popular brands on the market are hiding serious health risks, especially for those of us over 50. We're counting down the top offenders, and some of these names are going to shock you. Let's get started. Coming in at number 6 is a brand many of us grew up with, Johnsonville. We've all seen the commercials, backyard fun, baseball games, and a feeling of tradition. But behind that nostalgic image lies a serious health problem. First, let's talk sodium. A single Johnsonville smoked sausage can pack over 600 milligrams of sodium. Now, picture this. You put it in a bun, add some ketchup and mustard, maybe have a side of chips. Suddenly, that one fun light meal is delivering nearly half of your entire daily sodium allowance. For anyone over 50, especially if you're managing blood pressure, that kind of spike can completely undo the work of your medication. It can lead to swelling, dizziness, and put a dangerous strain on your heart. I've had patients who thought they were enjoying a harmless cookout, only to be shocked by their high blood pressure readings at their next checkup. Second, the additives. Johnsonville sausages often contain nitrites and nitrates. These are preservatives that the World Health Organization has linked to a higher risk of colon cancer. What's alarming is that many European countries have already restricted these chemicals, yet they remain common here in the US. This means seniors in America are being exposed to risks that are considered unacceptable in other parts of the world. And then there's the recall history, which is a huge red flag. In 2019, nearly 100,000 pounds of Johnsonville sausages were recalled because pieces of plastic were found inside. Imagine biting into what you think is a hearty brat, only to get a shard of hard plastic. For a younger person, it's unpleasant. But for an older adult, perhaps with fragile gums, dentures, or on blood thinners, an injury like that could be genuinely dangerous. Patients have also told me about the cooking experience itself. Instead of a clean, savory aroma, some describe a chemical-like steam that actually stings the nose. When you cut into the sausage, a pool of grease often forms right in the center. This isn't the wholesome protein we're looking for. It's a highly processed, salt-heavy, grease-laden product that puts stress on the very organs we need to protect: our heart, kidneys, and blood vessels. So, here's my practical advice. If you love grilling, you don't have to give it up. Opt for chicken or turkey sausages that are clearly labeled no nitrites added. You can add tons of flavor with onions, garlic, or a good mustard. You'll still get that satisfying sizzle on the grill, but you won't be risking a mouthful of plastic or loading your body with excess salt and chemical preservatives. Next up, at number 5, is a brand known for its low price. Banquet. Many families grab it because it's cheap, it's everywhere, and it seems like a practical choice. But for older adults, this bargain often comes with a much higher price tag: your health. Let's start with its recall history. In 2016, a massive recall of over 350,000 pounds of Banquet products was issued due to possible listeria contamination. Listeria isn't just a simple stomach bug. For healthy young adults, it might cause some discomfort. But for seniors, whose immune systems may be weaker, or for those with kidney problems or on immune-suppressing drugs, it can be life-threatening. The CDC reports that older adults are up to 20 times more likely to die from a listeria infection compared to younger people. That's not just a statistic. It's a real and present danger. Then there's the issue of quality control. Customers have shared photos online of BRS packages that were bloated or looked gassy long before their expiration date. That is a classic sign of bacterial growth inside the package. Others have described a sour, metallic smell upon opening the pack. This is simply not what safe food should look or smell like. Now for the nutrition label. A single Banquet link can contain over 500 milligrams of sodium. If you have 2 of them with a bun and some condiments, you're already over 1/3 of your daily sodium limit in one go. For someone with high blood pressure or who is on diuretics, that's enough to throw your body's balance off for the entire day. Add to that the fact that most of the calories come from saturated fat, and you have a snack that actively burdens your heart and kidneys instead of nourishing them. And here's a hidden danger: filler ingredients and allergens. Some Banquet products have shown up in mislabeling databases, meaning the packaging didn't always disclose that they contain soy or dairy fillers. For someone with a food allergy or sensitivity, that's not just dishonest, it's dangerous. So, here's the bottom line. Please don't confuse cheap with safe. If you're looking to save money, a much better strategy is to buy fresh chicken or turkey sausage from a local deli or butcher. You can portion it out and freeze it at home. That way, you control the cold chain and avoid the bacterial risks that come with mass-produced bargain bin brands. Real savings come from staying healthy, not from shaving $1 off your breakfast bill, only to pay for a doctor's visit later. And at number 4, we have a breakfast classic, Banquet Brown N-Serve. Banquet markets these as a family-friendly shortcut, quick, easy, and comforting. But when you look past the clever marketing, what you often find is a lab experiment disguised as breakfast food. Let's start with the nutrition facts. Just 3 of those small links can load your body with nearly 500 milligrams of sodium. That's about 1/4 of the entire daily limit for an older adult. For someone managing high blood pressure, that kind of sodium spike first thing in the morning is not harmless. It can blunt the effect of your blood pressure medication, increase fluid retention, and even cause swelling or dizziness that could lead to a fall. Now, let's talk about the phosphate problem. These sausages use sodium phosphates as preservatives. The FDA considers them safe in small amounts. But here's the catch. Phosphates are everywhere in processed foods, sodas, boxed dinners, baked goods. For seniors, an excess of phosphates has been linked to bone weakening and calcium loss. This can worsen osteoporosis and make fractures more likely. When you eat Banquet sausages regularly, you are stacking phosphates on top of each other, meal after meal. The sensory experience isn't much better. Instead of a hearty, satisfying snap, many people describe the texture as spongy and rubbery. The inside often looks grey and lifeless, and the taste is more chemical than meaty. It's become a bit of a joke online that these sausages bounce in the pan. That's not a sign of home-cooked food. That's a sign of fillers and additives at work. When you look at the bigger picture, Banquet is selling speed and nostalgia. You see smiling families in the ads, with sizzling links on the table. But what's missing from that picture is the truth. These are nitrate, phosphate, and salt bombs that wear down your body, little by little. My practical advice here is simple. If you need a quick breakfast protein, take some time on Sunday to make your own lean turkey patties. Freeze them, and they'll be ready to reheat just as fast, but without the chemical load. Or, look for sausage brands that are clearly labeled, no nitrates, no added phosphates. Quick doesn't have to mean risky. Many of us love sausages, but what if I told you that some of the most popular brands on the shelves could pose serious health risks, especially for older adults? We're going to dive into the 3 sausage brands you should probably leave at the store. And trust me, some of these might surprise you. This isn't just about calories, it's about hidden sodium, questionable additives, and even safety concerns that could land you in the hospital. So, let's get right into it and uncover what's really in your breakfast links. Coming in at number 3 is a brand many associate with comfort and tradition, Armour. The packaging often gives off this hearty, trustworthy vibe, but when you flip it over and look at the nutrition facts, a different picture emerges. A single serving can pack an incredibly high amount of sodium, sometimes even more than you'd find in a large bag of salty chips. And it's not just the salt. Some Armour varieties have added sugar, about 2 to 3 grams per link, plus a list of flavor enhancers and preservatives. Now, for older adults, this combination can be a real minefield. If you're managing high blood pressure, all that excess sodium can lead to fluid retention, swelling, and put extra strain on your heart. For those with diabetes, those hidden sugars can cause unpredictable spikes and dips in blood sugar, making it much harder to manage your medication. And for people sensitive to additives, some report getting headaches or even heart palpitations after eating foods with certain flavor enhancers. The eating experience itself often gives it away. Some people describe the casing as sticky or glazed, almost like a syrupy coating. The first bite hits you with sweetness, but it's quickly followed by a powerful, salty aftertaste that just lingers. It doesn't taste like natural seasoning. It feels more like a cover-up for heavy processing. Health experts have been cautioning us for years about the frequent consumption of processed meats with high sodium and certain preservatives. Organizations like the World Health Organization have specifically advised moderation for products that rely on nitrites. It's interesting because some countries in Europe have already put stricter rules in place. But here in the US, these products are still everywhere. So, what's the practical advice? If you love that smoky sausage flavor, look for options clearly labeled, no sugar added, and nitrite-free. An even better idea is to make your own chicken or turkey sausages at home. All you need is fresh garlic, herbs, and paprika. That way, you get all the hearty flavor you crave with none of the junk. Next up, at number 2, we have Great Value, Walmart's budget-friendly brand. It promises affordable family meals, and who doesn't want to save money? But when it comes to their sausages, cheap might not be worth the risk. Here's the deal. A single link of Great Value sausage can contain as much fat as an entire chicken breast, with over 70% of its calories coming from fat. Add to that over 400 to 500 milligrams of sodium per serving, and you've got a dangerous mix for anyone, but especially for older adults managing high blood pressure, heart conditions, or kidney disease. But the problem goes beyond the nutrition label. There have been numerous reports from shoppers about finding bloated packages, smelling a sour odor upon opening, or seeing gray, discolored blotches under the casing, all before the expiration date. These are huge red flags for bacterial growth, including listeria. And here's a frightening statistic from the CDC. Seniors are 20 times more likely to die from a listeria infection compared to younger adults. That's not a risk worth taking for a cheap breakfast. The sensory experience often confirms these issues. Many customers have described a clammy, sticky texture right out of the package. When you cook it, instead of a savory, smoky aroma, the pan releases a strange chemical smell, and the taste. It's often described as gray, flat, and sometimes even sour, the complete opposite of what a good sausage should be. There have even been whispers from former employees about inconsistent cold storage at some facilities, especially during hot summer months. This means the fresh sausage you see on the shelf might have already spent hours in unsafe temperatures, allowing bacteria to multiply silently. For seniors, especially those on blood thinners, heart medication, or managing diabetes, this isn't just an unpleasant meal. A sour sausage can quickly lead to food poisoning, severe dehydration, and a trip to the hospital. So, my advice is to skip the bargain bin sausage. Instead, choose fresh sausage from the deli counter where the turnover is higher, or stick to trusted brands that proudly label their products as nitrite-free and allergen-free. Even better, buy fresh turkey or chicken sausage, portion it out at home, and freeze it. You'll save money in the long run and, more importantly, protect your health. And now, for our number 1 spot. The brand that might be the most shocking for many of you, Oscar Mayer. It's one of the most iconic sausage and hot dog brands in America. We grew up singing the jingle, and these links were a staple at family cookouts. But that warm, fuzzy nostalgia can easily mask some very serious risks. Here's the core issue. Some Oscar Mayer smoked sausages contain up to 900 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's nearly half of the recommended daily limit for a senior, all in just 2 small links. Now, add a bun and some condiments, and you've easily blown through your entire day as safe sodium limit before you even get to lunch. For anyone managing high blood pressure or taking diuretics, a sodium spike like that can actually cancel out the effects of your medication. It can raise your blood pressure and increase the risk of dizziness, fluid retention, and even put a dangerous strain on your heart. And then there are the recalls. Over the years, batches of Oscar Mayer products have been recalled for issues, like metal fragments found in the food and mislabeling of common allergens. This means consumers could unknowingly bite into something contaminated or ingest a hidden ingredient that could trigger a severe allergic reaction. The sensory experience reported by customers also tells a grim story. People often complain about sour smells when they open the package, gray centers that turn to mush when cooked, and a greasy casing that leaves an oily film on your fingers. One shopper even described the smell of frying Oscar Mayer sausages as smelling like regret. That's a far cry from the wholesome tradition their ads promise, isn't it? Let's not forget the additives. Oscar Mayer products frequently contain nitrites and nitrates, which the World Health Organization has linked to a higher risk of stomach and colon cancer. While a single serving won't cause immediate harm, the risk from regular intake can add up over the years, especially for seniors who may already be managing chronic health conditions. So, my practical advice is simple. Don't let nostalgia or a catchy jingle fool you. If you want to enjoy sausage safely, opt for lower sodium turkey or chicken sausages that are clearly labeled nitrite-free. An even better choice is to support small, local butchers who are transparent about their ingredients. You can cook their fresh products, freeze them in small portions, and enjoy incredible flavor without all those hidden risks. So there you have it, 3 more popular sausage brands that you might want to consider carefully, especially if you care about your health or the health of your loved ones. It really shows how important it is to read labels and look beyond the marketing. Alright, after looking at 9 sausage brands you might want to skip, let's talk about the good stuff. Because believe it or not, there are sausages out there that are both delicious and don't load you up with junk. For older adults especially, finding that balance is key. I've got 2 fantastic options that really stand out. First up is Applegate Naturals. This is a brand that actually delivers on its promises. When you look at the ingredient list, it's short, simple, and you can pronounce everything. There are no artificial nitrites, no weird fillers, and the meat is antibiotic-free. Their turkey sausage is a particularly great choice. It's lower in sodium than most of the big names. It's not greasy, and it doesn't leave that strange chemical smell in your kitchen. When you cook one, you get a nice, clean, smoky aroma and a firm bite. Plus, there's no giant puddle of grease left in the pan. This is huge for anyone managing blood pressure, as one link won't sabotage your entire day's sodium goal. It's proof that processed meat doesn't have to be a chemical soup. Our second safe choice is Alfresco chicken sausage. These guys have figured out how to make a lean chicken sausage that's packed with flavor. A lot of healthy sausages can be rubbery or just plain bland, but Alfresco nails the texture and taste. They have delicious varieties like apple chicken, garlic and herb, and even spinach and feta. Nutritionally, a single link has around 70 calories, just 3 grams of fat, and a solid 13 grams of protein. That's a fantastic ratio for heart health, kidney function, and maintaining muscle mass as we get older. Many of their products also come in reduced sodium versions, which is another big win. When you cook them, you hear a clean sizzle and smell fresh ingredients, not chemicals. It just feels like you're eating real food, because you are. This means you can enjoy great flavor without putting extra strain on your body. Now, a quick practical tip. Even with these better brands, portion control is still your friend. Instead of making sausage the star of the show, try pairing 1 or 2 links with a generous serving of fiber-rich vegetables or beans. That way, you get a satisfying, flavorful meal that truly fuels you without weighing you down. I hope this helps you make smarter choices at the grocery store. It's all about enjoying food that loves you back. Love sausage, but worried about your health? You don't have to give it up completely, even if you're managing blood pressure or heart health. The secret isn't elimination, it's making smarter choices. Many popular sausage brands are loaded with sodium, unhealthy fats, and preservatives, which can be risky for seniors. But here's the good news. Healthier options are out there. The key is to become a label detective. Look for sausages with short, simple ingredient lists. Also, portion control is everything. A small serving can satisfy that craving without overdoing it. And here's a pro tip. Pair your sausage with high-fiber foods like beans, whole grains, or a big side of veggies. This helps your digestion and supports a healthy heart. By choosing wisely, you can still enjoy the foods you love while taking care of your body. You'll feel more energetic and see the benefits in your health long term. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more tips on healthy living.